Yeah, sorry, I was distracted a bit. Am I audible, JD?
Yes, yes, you're very much.
Okay. Um, right. So the march starts at Sambhaji Park, Jangli Maharaj Road, near Bal Gandharva bus stop. They are very nearby to each other. We meet at 4 o'clock. Then we start walking towards Deccan bus stop. We follow the footpath for that, and then we take a left towards the river bed. And then once we are at the river bed, we take the right turn towards Panchaleshwar Mahadev Mandir. And Panchaleshwar Mandir is where we end our march. That's where we will also have the pledge said by all of us, and then a few activities. But we just need to all of us remember that this is a silent march. So what I'll do now, as we move on, I'll also share the link to the route if visibility is perhaps easier. So I'll share the link as well sometime.
Great. And Amita is here, so
Should we start the session?
yes.
Okay. Welcome. Yeah, yes.
Sorry, one moment.
No,
I'll also start recording. Oh, it's already being recorded. Okay, sorry, go on.
a very good evening to everyone. I'm Shubha. I'm affiliated, work with Jivit Nadi, one of the founding organizations who has helped bring this consortium of Pune River Revival, or PRR as it's known, which is actually a consortium of over 60 organizations and a lot of passionate individuals who have basically come together to work for the rights of the rivers. Um, and what that entails is doing anything that helps the reverse flow in its own natural self, and also prevent anything from it not being able to do so. So whatever comes in that whole gamut, this group is you know that's the objective of this group. So having said that, we realize that the whole ecosystem of the river is so complex, and so there's so many layers to it, that even as volunteers there's so many things that we still need to learn. With that objective, the whole Wednesday webinar series was started, and we have been doing extremely well with a variety of topics that are being covered. Some of the major ones also include the green jobs that was covered by Shalvi Pawar, and also a very unique natural solutions that was talked about by Dr. Ajit Gokhale in last time's session. If you have missed any of these sessions, they are all on YouTube and on our website too. You can have the link to it. But please go back, and because all these sessions are recorded, they are timeless. You can go back and refer to them for anything that you need to. Continuing those series, we today have an extremely eminent and I think a very dynamic personality. I welcome Amita Deshpande here. So I'll just quickly introduce her, and then the floor is all hers. So Amita has worked extensively in sustainable development and CSR since the past 15 years. She's basically by education an IT engineer, but who went on to do her master's from Purdue University in the US with a focus on sustainability. She's worked with a lot of CSR teams, multinational corporations, NGOs, and both in India and US, and then decided to come back and start her pet project called reCharkha, which she'll also talk about in this session. But reCharkha is basically a social enterprise which is working on upcycling of non-recyclable plastic waste. And the catch to that is that it is using the traditional weaving technique of charkha. So yeah, I think the floor is all yours, Amita, and we are looking forward to a really enlightening session.
Amita unfortunately has got locked out, so we'll have to wait for her
Oh,
to relocate.
okay. Okay, so as we were just waiting for her, Jaideep and Amit were just updating us on the march, the silent march that's happening this Sunday. Do one of you just want to go over it quickly once, whoever is joined later?
Yeah, so on 25th, we are having a silent march, and the underscore is on a silent. And this is in solidarity with people affected with all the flooding across Pune. Uh, and all of us are hopefully understand the reasons for this kind of flooding. We've been yeah, essentially burying all the water bodies, water streams, rivulets, nalas, and narrowing the rivers. And naturally, this is flooding the flooding streets. But it's not just flooding streets; it's affecting people's livelihoods. If the water has gone into people's houses, shops, and people's vehicles are submerged. So we want to urge everyone here to come themselves and bring family and friends. This protest will start at Balgandharva on Jangli Maharaj Road on 25th at 4 a.m. Excuse me, 4 p.m. And the route, if we have time, Amit can elaborate on the route, and the nature of it is, of course, I underscore, it's a silent protest. We are calling it a Raksha Bandhan protest. But we have Amita back.
Yeah. Hi, Amita.
I
Hi.
There was some network issue. There's been traffic issues. I'm so sorry about all of this.
No problem.
Yes.
Yeah. All over to you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You've given the background.
Yeah, I have.
I'm sorry about this.
Please
Hi,
introduce
everyone.
you. Yeah. Go ahead.
Many of you are already known. Some are new. So I'll be happy to, get to know all of you at the end of the webinar. But I think I should, without any delay, I should. Oh, I cannot share the screen, Shubha. Can I?
Could you try again? I just made you
Presentation.
co-host. Oh no, sorry. I
Can you
think
enable?
I'll try
Yeah.
again.
Amit is doing it for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Amita, could you try now?
Yeah, perfect. I've been traveling, and that's the reason I've been, in different areas. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. All right. So many of you might be already knowing what we do, but I would like to, restart the so that everybody understands. I'll show a video to begin with so that everybody understands what we do at reCharkha. Okay. Can you see this? And can you hear this videos, the voice as well?
Voice we haven't
No, we
heard.
can't. Yeah, we can't hear the voice.
I can just speak the voice. Okay. So this is what we do at reCharkha. We first collect all the waste plastic bags and wrappers. We wash
Amita, we
and
can neither see the video, so you'll have to
sort
show
them
the
into
video.
different colors.
Amita, we
The
cannot see
original
the video
colors are
also.
retained. We don't dye them. And then
Amita,
we
hello, Amita,
manually
I need
cut
to.
each and every plastic bag and wrap
Need to
just
try to
with
call
a
her.
pair of
1 second.
scissors.
Yeah. Amita, we
Then
cannot see
we
the
use a
video.
traditional charkha and hand loom to weave them. So the entire process is manual because we are trying to create employment for our tribal women and youth, tribal and rural now. And then we design and tailor them into beautiful products like what you see right in front of you. Thank you so much for your support. And these are our real customers, okay? They're not just brand ambassadors.
Hey, Amita, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
We cannot see the
we cannot
video.
see the video.
you did not see the video?
Yeah, we
Is the
cannot
is the
because
is
it's
the
your
video
first.
in the presentation or is it outside the presentation?
Wait 1 second. So whatever I was saying, you could not see. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just share the entire screen then. And I'll share the sound also. Now, can you see it?
Yeah, now we
Yeah,
can.
now we can see the video.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I'll start the session again, the video again, and then now I think it will also give you opportunity to hear the sound. Can you guess how this turns into this?
Let's find out.
Yeah, you could hear the sound, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
We first collect all these waste plastic bags and wrappers. Then we wash and sanitize them, sort them into different colors. These are all original colors of the waste. We don't dye them. Then we manually cut each and every plastic bag and wrapper just using a pair of scissors. Then we use a traditional charkha and a hand loom to weave them, thus creating livelihood opportunities for our tribal women and youth. This upcycled hand-woven fabric of reCharkha is now designed and tailored into beautiful products for all you conscious consumers. Thank you so much for your support, and we look forward to creating an eco-social planet.
Yep. Was it understandable?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So that is what we do at reCharkha. So that is our first project that we started 9 years ago. So just on 15th of August, we completed our 9th anniversary of the work that we are doing. And basically, like you are seeing on the screen, we upcycle plastic waste and enable rural livelihoods. But we do a lot more as well. Now speaking with a group of people who are like-minded in the space of environment. So it's not just restricted to upcycling plastic waste, but below the entire effort, there is a lot more that we do. But I'll first, cover up some of the sliders of why we are doing what we are doing. How we are doing it, all of those things. I'm gonna explain them a little bit. Okay. So the first and foremost, why? So why we do what we do? The first and foremost is obviously to conserve the environment, and especially from the point of view of waste management in this particular project. Secondly, we are working on enabling rural livelihoods. So we work in rural and tribal areas. The first one being in Dadra Nagar Haveli, which is a union territory on the border of Gujarat and Maharashtra. That's where we began. So that is our first unit. The second unit, which we began 2 years ago, is in a village near Bhor, which is about 60 kilometers from Pune, south of Pune. Most of you must be already aware of. The third is we make eco-social products. But what are the products made for? It's made for conscious consumers so that we can not use, mostly everything that we use today is polyester. Either it is foam or, polypropylene or, those resin bags, which is all polyester. So here we are making something which is upcycled, which is using or reusing the waste that is already generated for the conscious consumer. So this is what we are doing reCharkha at a reCharkha. And then what do we upcycle? So the first and foremost question that comes up to most of the people's minds is that just 1 second. Excuse me, can you please keep a little low, little bit? Shouting at the top of their voice. So the first and foremost thing that we are upcycling is things which are non-recyclable. So what you see here are carry bags, wrappers of different types, all the soft plastic, which typically gets just used once and thrown away because it is used in such a way so that it does not get recycled only in the first place. So most of these carry bags are used, all of us know, so I don't have to tell you separately, but they're used as shopping bags, and then later on garbage is dumped into that and then thrown away for the environment to bear the brunt. Obviously, people don't know that they are going to bear the brunt of it as well as other animals. But in this case, most of the plastic, which is non-biodegradable, is dumped. And the second part is that it is all of these things that we upcycle are difficult to recycle, especially because of the volume to weight ratio of the plastic, because the plastic which we use is very light in weight, but very bulky. And secondly, the material is most of the times MLP, which is multi-layered packets. So a layer of metal and a layer of plastic on the outside. So that's why that makes it difficult to recycle. The third point that I actually also talked about earlier was the rural livelihoods aspect. So obviously, it is very starkly understandable, and again, a group of eco-conscious people here, that if rural livelihoods are developed, then people will be more happy to stay in the village than to come and stay in slums of cities. So that was a very important point which I wanted to work on while before setting up this unit, because I do come from a small town of Silvassa, and around our house everywhere there used to be such beautiful farmlands and tribal huts, and then later on slowly took over by the urban development, and obviously slums started developing there too. And then the who. Okay, so mostly what we're talking about here, of course, rural and tribal people, but we are talking about women. So we are trying to empower women in various parts of the country, like these two places, but mainly we are focusing on women, and there are various reasons for that. Maybe we'll come to that later during the discussion. And we also have two differently abled youth in our team as well. And how the process that we saw in the video, so how we make it. So firstly, we use machines which do not require any heat or electricity. There is no pressure that is used. So the entire process is manual. So we are trying to revive the handicraft. That's why we are called reCharkha, because we are reviving the charkha to solve today's problems. And we purposely kept the process as manual as possible. So we just use a scissor, a charkha, and the hand loom. Only 3 machines, and of course the sewing machine at the end to put them all together. So that's what reCharkha stands for. That first of all, re denotes refuse, reduce, reuse, repurpose, and only then recycle. Second is the eco-social tribe, which is our group. It's a movement. It's not just the team that I'm working with, but all of you included. The charkha, it definitely denotes one of the machines that we use, but more than that, it signifies self-reliance, the Swadeshi movement, the handicraft movement, and employment and livelihoods. So that's the whole purpose, and that's why we have called ourselves as reCharkha. And the impact that we have been able to achieve today is that, more than 25 lakh plastic waste has been upcycled up till now. Over 52,000 days of employment has been generated in these rural and tribal areas. So a few more what's, and then I'm going to pause and take some questions so that it is more interactive and I'm not the only one speaking. So apart from the plastic waste that we saw earlier, which is, all the chips packets, the biscuit wrappers, the carry bags, we also use these. You see the cassettes. So most of the cassettes are no longer used and have to be thrown away. So we are utilizing those cassettes and we are weaving those as well. Then we also use waste flex. So we have so many flex holdings all over the place, especially with those Vard Divsata Shubhechha and all of those messages. So we are upcycling those in various things such as our planters, the insides of many of our bags. We use the flex so that it gives the stiffness. So most of the times when bags are made with other materials, that stiffness is brought up by using new plastic sheets, which are a little thicker, and those are added inside, and then the bag becomes stiff. But we did not want to use that. That's why we use waste flex. Then also we use waste foam to give the sponge feeling for the laptop bag. So for example, this laptop bag that I have, inside there is a layer of sponge in which the plastic, waste foam is used. And very recently, we actually tied up with a company called India Hikes, which is a trekking company, and they donated some of their sleeping bags to us. Over 300 sleeping bags they donated to us, which were old and waste. And we actually use the foam from inside those sleeping bags to make the products. And in some cases, we also use polyester fabric so that they do not go waste and are not thrown away. Also, in textile, I don't know if you all are aware of these two very important terms. There is a warp and a weft. So the weft is our plastic bags and wrappers, which are cut and then the strips are woven. But warp is actually yarns made from PET bottles. And we are using that so that the entire product becomes coming from recycled material. It is plastic of different types, but it is all put together to make the bag. And of course, at the end of its life, then we can, send it for pyrolysis. Not, of course, once plastic is made, it's definitely not recyclable. But what we are trying to do is make that entire product in such a way that at least it can be sent for pyrolysis, which is not the best way to dispose it, but that's for now, that is what the solution we have found out, especially for MLP, right? So like I said, the foams, bubble wraps, this is used for our laptop compartments, and everything else like the labels, the inner lining of the cloth, the belt, all of this is cotton. So that natural material remains in the things which can be, removed. Like we actually dismantle the entire bag if at the end of its life it comes back to us. So in that case, we are using everything natural which can be composted. Also, the fittings inside each of our bags are metal. We do not use any plastic fittings because most of the times if you see bags that are brought from the market, the buckles, the zipper line, the polyester, all of that is usually plastic. So we have completely used, or rather we are using metal rather than plastic in that case. And then we are also introducing sustainable alternatives like our cutlery kit. So this is a favorite product of mine, which is a kit which has your straw cleaner, wooden spoon, wooden fork, and cotton napkin. So these kind of products are inculcating a behavior change in people, apart from many other things that we do for behavior change. So we are trying to take care of the circularity and circular economy by following these steps, which I have been explaining in the past few slides. So wherever waste is generated, even in our process, if suppose some plastic pieces go waste, we actually make designs from them. So here you can see there is a nice Butta work bag that we have created. Here we have used these plastic strips and we've woven them together to give it a design. Now this is a little bit from the design angle, so I'll not go into the details of it. But here, if you look at the designs, we are trying to actually incorporate traditional weaves, which are usually made with cotton or silk. We are trying to incorporate them with plastic waves. So you see all of these patterns. These are all ikkat weaves, Butta weaves, temple borders, all of these we are trying to incorporate and make something interesting from it. So we keep conducting training sessions for our women to so that they feel proud of the work that they are doing. It's not just that they're sitting and doing some manual work and labor, but they're actually using their brains. They're coming up with designs and patterns. Then this is a new innovation which we have started, which is called the basketry origami technique, in which we actually just fold the plastic wrappers together and then we put them together. So I have a short video to show you on how this is made. This is the origami basketry. And then we also started getting a lot of questions about how we make things, how can people participate? And like I said, it's not just about upcycling, it is a lot more than that. And until and unless we actually speak with people, or rather I speak with people because I'm sort of the the eco driver behind reCharkha. So until and unless I speak with people, I do not have a chance to make them understand the entire motive behind reCharkha. So it's not just the product. I keep always saying that it's not just the product, but the product drives the entire organization. So product making, product selling is important. But at the base of it, there is this whole ethos and the whole thought process. And that happens during our workshops and visits. So we have started conducting tours to our Bore unit from design schools, just schools also, children come, there are some international visitors, as well as anybody and everybody from the citizens group can come and join us in our tours. And so I'm going to show you another short clip just about these awareness sessions that we take, the visits that we do. Some familiar faces there. Okay, so this was, sort of the thought process as well as the entire talk that I wanted to share with you, but I'm going to stop sharing the screen for now. And I'm sure all of you might have had questions which you want to ask me. So I'll stop talking and I'll listen to the questions.
Thanks, Amita, this is Sanjeev Naik here. It's a wonderful, truly an amazing initiative, which we have been associated for quite so many years, and that you're going so strong, and it's wonderful to see this. So people can ask questions. I think one of them, yeah.
Sanjeev, before you go ahead, since we have roughly about 40 participants, can I make a quick appeal?
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
Thanks, Amita, for that wonderful presentation. I inject myself between you and your presentation and the questions to make an appeal. On the 25th, Pune River, we are many of us here are part of this group called Pune River Revival. And we have arranged what we are calling a silent march. This is in solidarity for all those affected by the floods. And we're not talking you had a minor inconvenient day. Literally, there are people, some literally lost their lives, some lost their livelihoods, some lost their life savings. And this is not to be taken lightly. We have to stand in solidarity with all these people. It's a silent march. There's no loudspeakers. There's no announcements or sloganeering. We will simply assemble at around 4 o'clock near Balgandharva on Jangli Maharaj Road. And from there, we will make our way towards the Deccan side, and we'll go to the river. Amit will post the route for this. And one of the best ways to, kind of join us is first, and here's the group. As you can see, Amit is pointing out the route for this. Amit, you want to quickly share that?
Yes.
You can go on mute.
This is where we gather. This is near Bal Gandharva, Rangamandir, the bus stop there, which is also close to Sambhaji Park main gate. Then we walk by the footpath, then take a lift from Deccan bus stop, then walk towards the river bed. From Bhide Pool, right at the start of Bhide Pool, we take a right, and then we go straight uh, through the riverbed, I mean the riverbed road, and then we take a stop at Panchaleshwar Mandir, where we take our pledge, sign a few canvas sheets. That program we will keep sharing, but this is the route. We gather at 4 o'clock and we finish at 6 o'clock in the evening. Thank you.
And so let me just re-emphasize, the nature of this walk. It's a silent march. And, I'm told silence works much, much stronger and speaks much louder. So I hope all of us will join that and see how powerful silence can be. So let's stand in support. And yeah, there's a clear tie-in between what, Amita is suggesting, discussing, her work with recycling. Plastic gets everywhere and it clogs our cities. And, moreover, there is far dangerous substances that unfortunately we can't yet work on is recycling concrete. But let's start start back at how Amita can guide us, in continuing at least the good work she's doing. Go ahead, Amita. Sanjeev, you wanted to take questions from the audience, right?
Yeah, sorry. And one thing which I think, I don't know whether you mentioned, Jaydeep, but this march is apolitical, as in it's non-political. So, and the silent march will make sure that, even if politicians want to join, they will not be heard. Their voices would not be heard. I mean, and we want to make it, irrespective of any party and all. It is purely a citizens-driven movement. So we'll go ahead with the questions. I think very interesting questions have come, and hopefully we'll get more and answers for all of this. The first question is from Shailaja Tai itself. Like, she asked, how do you collect your plastic, and what are the sources you connect with?
Sorry, I am actually at a cafe and the people around are talking very loudly. I hope it's not
So shall I repeat
disturbing.
the question?
You can't hear it, right?
No, we cannot hear it. So it's not.
Okay, perfect. So the
So
first question, and it's a very good question. So when originally I started, I wanted to work with waste pickers. Okay, so I started working by approaching waste pickers from Swatch, peeling them to keep all of this waste aside, the waste that we are talking about. What they told me was that they are not really interested in that waste, because for them collecting the plastic waste that we require is a lot of effort, because it's all these thin plastic bags and wrappers, and most of the times they are dirty. So this was 9 years ago, and people just throw away all of their waste just like that without segregating it. So for the first couple of years, I actually tried to break my head with all of these waste pickers, but unfortunately things did not work out well. Then slowly, as we were going ahead, many people started approaching us that, hey, can we give us our plastic waste from home? And I got this feeling that if I say yes, people will be like, oh, Amita is there, I can use as much as plastic as I want, and I can give it away to reCharkha and not think about what is happening with that waste. So I didn't want to motivate people from by collecting waste. So then I decided to do like a middle ground, that I'll do a lot of awareness generation, telling people that we will not be able to collect, try to refuse, reduce, reuse, and only things which you cannot refuse, reduce, reuse, let us, send it to reCharkha and we'll upcycle it. So today, more than 80% of the waste that we get is from public, and it's from people like you who are conscious at home, who are segregating their waste. So we do a lot of awareness generation about segregation of waste at source, and we actually get clean plastic, which people are not throwing away, keeping it at home, keeping it properly, and then giving it to us once in a month, once in 6 months, once in a year. And from people who are not in Mumbai or Pune, where our stores or offices are located, people actually courier the waste to us. And I have found packets coming in from Jammu Kashmir, from Sikkim, from Chennai. So not that I'm very proud of the fact that people are creating waste and sending it to us. The whole point is that if they are sorting it out in the first place, not throwing it away, especially the non-recyclables, and sending it to us as less as possible. That is what we are trying to promote. So yes, 80% from public and about 20% from industries as well. So ironically, companies like Nestle, Parle, they collect their waste, which is post-industrial waste, actually not post-production waste or printing mistake wala waste. They give it to us and then they want us to create some products for them for corporate gifting. So it's a little ironical, but we are working with them for now, trying to make them change their behaviors in certain ways. Yeah, next question.
Actually, in chat box, many questions are there. Like,
can I go one by
I
one?
just-
I think Sanjeev seems
sorry,
to be.
I was on mute. Yeah, sorry. I was on mute.
Sanjeev, please go ahead. Yeah.
So Angad had a question. I think part of it was already answered with the previous answer, like how do you collect your plastic waste? And he also wanted to know which all cities, towns do you collect from? I think partially you also answered
So
that.
we don't want to motivate people from creating waste. That's why we do not go ourselves and collect it. People can send us their waste from wherever they are at their own expense. We do not provide anything in return. To certain people whom we know are doing it very consciously, we do give them like a discount code, or somebody is asking if you can give a certificate. We can do that. But we don't want to encourage people from creating waste. So if that is getting balanced, then yes, we can give certificates. Student groups also do that. We also get waste from some cantonments, the army cantonments who collect waste and give it to us. So, that is interesting. But we do not have the facility to collect, and nor do we want to get into that, because it's a whole logistical business altogether. And that is not what we do. But yes, if you want, you can packet your plastic waste in Pune or Mumbai. You can come and submit it at our stores. Pune, we have it in Karvenagar. Mumbai, we have it in Khar. And then if you want to courier it, the address is, I'll send the website link on which you'll get our address.
Great, Amit. Thanks. Vijay has asked that your website shows the fishing net. So do you collect them and upcycle that too?
We don't. We would like to, collect and upcycle many more things. But currently, we are trying to sort out only one problem. But yes, fishing nets is also a very big problem. But another problem with fishing nets is that it is exposed to sunlight for too long, and because of which it starts photodegrading. So if you collect any plastic waste which is outside in the sun for too long, it starts photodegrading as matlab uska powder hone lag jata hai. And then using those to make products will become a problem, because it will start creating microplastics everywhere. So that's why we do not, that's not the only reason. The other reason is also managing different kinds of waste because of space constraints, limited space or limited bandwidth as an organization that we have. So that's why we are focusing on currently plastic waste and the kind of soft plastic that I was talking about.
Okay. So one of the things which you mentioned in your answer was about microplastic. So Nishad has asked this question, that how do you deal with microplastics in the whole process?
So we don't create microplastics because we cut them into strips and then we directly weave them. So as a result, microplastics do not get generated. Microplastics get generated if it is exposed to sunlight for too long, or if in our process, if there is some kind of a crushing process, some kind of what is it called, pulverizing process. So in our case, we do not have that. So we take a wrapper, we cut it into strips, and then we weave it together.
Great. I mean, that's actually a great solution. I think a lot of people had that concern, and the fact that everything is done manually without any heat, energy, and all, I think sort of is you can say the most perfect way to sort of
exactly. So things are in our control. The way we cut it also is in our control. If we had mechanized it, then waste would have gotten created, and it would have gotten created on a larger scale, which would have been difficult for us to manage.
Right. So Swarada has asked this question again. Maybe it's a concern out here. So how to dispose these reCharkha bags at the end of the life? So maybe we need to also know what's the end
Yes.
of life for.
Yes. So, and I did little bit, I touched upon this during the circularity slide also, that in each of our bags, we have a little label which says that, refuse, reduce, reuse, but at the end of the life of this product, you can actually send it back to us and we will upcycle it again as much as possible. So we actually dismantle the cloth, the zippers, the belts, the whatever things we can reuse, we reuse it. And if we cannot reuse it, then the plastic section, the fabric, is sent for pyrolysis, because that's the only solution right now for multi-layered packets. So we are using that. But like I always say, we are not a solution. reCharkha's products are not a solution, or the process is not a solution for the plastic waste problem. We're postponing the problem for now. But yes, we are increasing the life. So a plastic bag which would have been used only for 20 minutes and then thrown away, we are extending its life to a few years, maybe 10 years, or, however you use the product, the better. Like the more you use, the better. Yes. But we do try to take care of that end of life process.
Great. So one of the solutions I think is in the next question when Vijay asked that should non-recyclable plastic be banned at source itself?
It should be banned, and it's like right now we are working with Nestle, for example. So we are working with them and we are upcycling their plastic. We're giving them all the gift items that they want, the corporate gift items that they want. But on a different level, I am talking to their packaging head also to see if there is an alternative that they can use. So we all know, one of my colleagues from Ecological Society, Khushbu Gandhi, he has come up with a biodegradable packaging solution. So then we're trying to, see if these things can be utilized. So yes, definitely banning is the only solution. But currently, that particular waste does not have, that much of scalability, I would say. But eventually it will come, and I think the companies are actually working on R&D for that.
Yeah. And I would just like to answer, maybe it's not just banning the plastic bags, but what is in the plastic bag is also equally dangerous. So, when you have a whole lot of chip packets and all that,
Of
I think the
course.
consumption of that itself is
Of
equally
course.
dangerous. So
Correct.
you need to have a more holistic solution, Vijay. It's not
correct. And see, we again on a different scale, we also conduct the sustainable living workshop.
Yeah, great. Excellent. Yeah.
Where we motivate people to change their choices only. So if there is a bottom-up demand for sustainable packaging, then people will change. So here we are coming up with an idea that you do not need to have those packaged foods. There are natural foods available. You can have them. There are businesses that come up with new products and then again package them in MLP. So I try to work with sustainable businesses and make them into zero plastic packaging. So we are trying to do other things also. All of that non-profit work is done through our NGO. So we also have an NGO arm through which we do all of these non-profit activities.
Great. And that's equally important, I think. Highlight that, but those are the ideal solutions we need to follow.
Correct.
Yukta has asked a question, maybe, I think maybe partially answered, but I think very specific, like how did your team manage to connect the waste on a large scale enough to make n number of products? So do you have some target, and then based on the target,
it is public who's sending us their plastic. So we are not going and getting plastic from anywhere else. So, but it's never been a problem to us. And again, see, ours is a very slow process. So we do not require tons of plastic. We require enough because our process is itself very slow. So we're into slow manufacturing.
So I think the answer is that you are not looking at a particular goal that you need to make so many number of products and scale and go and
Correct. We are not into mass production.
Usual corporate, whatever, the industry way of working. This is a totally different way of working, and this is a sustainable way of working. That you make only as much as you get, not make more. And in PMC, he's asking what were the layers of management bodies like in PMC you have to handle or work with to make the circular economy run as it is running in present times. So have they been supportive or have they helped? I think
No, never. So we did not, Ekdam initially we did try, but it's a very difficult process. And again, being a very small team, it becomes difficult to try to work with the government, get their buy-in. Rather, we work on our own. That's what we figured out, and we just made it in that sense. But one other project that we are doing is with Tadoba's forest department, where for the first time we are working with the government. And but we are not upcycling plastic waste. We are into a different project of waste management with them. So that is the only place where we are working with the government, because they were willing and they wanted to find a solution for the waste management problem at Tadoba.
Yeah, maybe we can have a different session on that.
Yes, we should actually. That's a very interesting project. I did not talk about it right now because obviously we don't have so much time also.
So Jaideep has this very valid question. So he says many eco-sensitive businesses struggle financially, and this is demotivating to the entrepreneurs. So is reCharkha profitable and growing for all stakeholders?
So she had to take a call. Let's just give us a few seconds.
Sure.
Yes, you're right. So economically, we are sustainable. It keeps going back and forth, but because we've kept our costs as low as possible, we are sustaining. We are profitable. Sometimes there are, some months, especially the summer months when there's not much happening, are difficult for sale. But again, August to March is amazing, and we get a lot of orders. We get lots of corporate orders. We get people coming in, shopping at our stores as well as on our website. So there we are profitable. But yes, overall we are profitable, but not like you're rightly saying, we're a social enterprise. So our whole purpose is not to generate like huge amount of profits, because whatever money we get from selling our products, we are actually investing back into, say, these awareness sessions, or making lives of our artisans in the rural areas better. Like we conducted a health camp for our village women. So not just for the team members, but entire village ke women last weekend for women's health specifically. So we keep doing that. Even the Tadoba project, we are partly doing it pro bono. So we keep doing all of those things because we want to do it. As in, I think that is the purpose why I actually started this initiative also. Otherwise, leaving a nicely well-paying job in the US and coming back to India and starting something like this, everybody laughed at me, but it's fun, and I'm satisfied with what we're doing. Of course, not satisfied in terms of the work, because the scale of the work is lots more is needed. But yes, at least I can have a good night's sleep.
More power to you.
Yeah.
And I need more people. So that's going to be my appeal to everybody, that, we are a small team. We are looking for passionate people to work with us. And especially people who are interested in working in this sector. So we have some full-time job openings right now. Like one is an e-commerce manager. We are looking for somebody who can help us manage our website, over end to end. But it's a full-time role. Second is content creator, because our content is very natural and very original. So we cannot outsource it. We need somebody who's in-house, to take, pictures of the right kind of photos of the artisans or of the products, how they are made. That kind of content is needed. So we cannot work like a typical commercial brand. We just take pictures of celebrities and post them, but we have to have a mix to appeal to the audiences. So we are looking for these two full-time people. So anybody here who's interested in joining, please connect with me later on. Because I need people like you who are passionate in my team.
Oh, yeah. Amita, so final question, I think, hopefully, and we can discuss. So Nishad has asked, do you UV stabilize your products? Because you said, I think in heat actually it degrades, and also I think the question is relevant to that. related to that, I guess. Do you UV stabilize your products?
I think her video is frozen, so
Frozen. Yeah.
So, so since this is the last question, I just want to reintroduce that all of you should join us on the 25th for the silent march for 4 o'clock at Balgandharva, Jangli Maharaj Road. And the one of the best ways to connect with the Pune River Revival group is to join the WhatsApp group. So while Amita comes back, if someone can share the WhatsApp group link on, and then people should join us. That way, if there is any last minute coordination information, you will see that. And there you have it. Amit shared on the chat group. That is the best way to connect about the event and any upcoming events, including like the one that we just had.
Jaydeep, 3:45. Just a correction.
Thank
Welcome by
you.
3:45. Yeah.
Okay, yes, that makes a lot of sense. So that we can start on time. And I think in interest of time, given that we've lost Amita connection and she's from a cafe, while she's not around, we should just express thanks for her good work and inspiring work.
1 second, Deepali Jadia has raised her
Yes,
hand.
yes, ma'am.
If you could,
Yes,
if you could take her question and pass it on to Amita, would be really good if she's not able to connect back again. But you can take her question.
Yeah, please go ahead,
Thank
Deepali.
you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am, for recognizing us. Okay. So the question is basically, actually it was to the point that ma'am was talking about that she needs people, and basically the R&D part that she mentioned. So we are a couple of scientists who have been working on MLP. We have our industry experience of about 20 years now, and we have a separation technology where MLP can be, separated in terms of aluminium and plastic. So the plastic can be recycled back as a fed back to the loop. So I had a couple of questions to her that as to how much she can actually process with the kind of manual setup she has, and if we can contribute to any kind of an R&D that she would have a troubleshooting with, would like to connect with her.
I'm so sorry. My internet had gone off. I'm back. I think there was a last question, right? Deepali, did you answer my question?
Yes.
You did?
No, I had just put up my question.
Okay.
Saying that we are a couple of R&D people. We have our own company. We work exclusively with plastic biodegradability and plastic recycling. We have technologies for MLP, and so I just wanted to know that how much of this MLP can you actually process with the manual effort, and if there are any technological troubleshootings that you are looking for, then I would like to reach out to you, connect with you, collaborate with you in terms of, because we have the technologies where MLP can be separated, and if you're working with people with brands like Nestle, where they would like that plastic to be fed back to the
let's connect
system
separately. I think that's something interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
just share your contact number and hopefully you can
Yes.
also.
So I'm going to
Yes,
do that only over here. I'm going to also share our website as well as our Insta handle. And if anybody is has more questions, you can actually DM us. Okay, and you can mention that give reference of this webinar that we have done, so that I can reach out back to. I'll give my phone number also, but I am very bad at taking phone calls. So this is my number. So if anybody has any question, please WhatsApp to me, and I'll be very happy to revert back on WhatsApp. Cool. I think, Jaideep?
Yeah,
Is that
this has been a wonderful session, Amita. Thank you so much for joining. We realized you were caught in traffic and you had to get a connection at the cafe. So much appreciated. And the work that you do is just inspiring. And as a financial analyst, I'm really glad that you're also profitable. You're not chasing the big, scale of it. So please continue inspiring people and stay connected. For the others who don't know, Amita is also part of Pune Revival, River Revival group. So please join us on that group. There is yet another way to connect with great people like her. She's also a member of Ecological Society. So, this whole virtuous cycle starts when good people start having interesting and work. So please stay connected. And then she's made this plea to join her team. So anyone who feels they can learn from her journey, please join her.
Please join, and I'll have to hang up now, but please visit our Pune store, which is at Karve Nagar. The address is on our website as well as on our Instagram. Please come. You can meet me, our team members, see the beautiful products that we have. There is a tailoring process that we do in the Karve Nagar unit. You can see that. And of course, most happy to, set up a separate tour for all of you at our weaving unit in Bhor. So if anybody is interested, please connect with us and we will be more than happy to do that. Okay. Thanks, Jaideep. Thanks, Shailajatai, and everybody who's, made me, give this opportunity to come here and speak. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
thank
Amita.
you.
Thank you, Amita. Thanks for
Thanks.
everything. Okay.
Thanks,
Bye-bye,
okay.
everyone.
Thanks,
See you
Amita.
all.
Nice session.
Yeah. And
Thank
see you all on
you.
25th
25th.
August. We
25th.
are waiting.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.